What the deal? I'm DJ
Yo,
Hazmat,
yo. And I'm Matty Wills.
and welcome to another edition of the second season of Matt and Matt Sports. Because there's a lot of sports going on, especially something to do with our area. So we have to talk about it, right, partner?
You already know, man. Big games going on in the nationwide tournament going on across the country. Not all great news, but not all bad news for the Ohio
No,
teams
not at all.
so far. Of course, the Cavaliers are playing right now as well. They're in the midst of a little, ain't been playing too great lately. And the
Man.
Browns made some big news lately. At least they're getting a good grade in free agency, according to some reports, man. So, we can start wherever you would like to start, my brother.
Well, let's go ahead and start with the Cavs because this is gonna be a short conversation.
My goodness.
The Cavaliers. I mean, they managed to eke out a win this week, which was cool
Yeah.
that they were able to to win a game, but they've been on a terrible run here lately. And but because the East is not that strong of a conference, there's still an outside chance that if they're able to make any type of a run, that they could possibly see the eighth seed. And with the injury to Joel Embiid and things like of that nature, who knows? Who knows? You always want to have a chance, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I had kind of been giving up because they're losing by double digits at least all the time when they do take
Silly.
L's. But
Right.
these games aren't close. They're not getting beat by buzzer beaters. I mean, they're getting handled, and it's like, what is happening? What
They
is your
have
assessment?
a deficient roster right now. It's just not up to par for, you know, playoff teams in the NBA. Cavs have lost 5 of their last 6 games. Kevin Love, he showed up for, a brief moment, but I'm ready to go ahead and say it's about time for that boy to give it on up, man. He might as well just bow out gracefully. He's been on the market for, well, first, we ain't even encouraged. Make sure y'all drop your comments. We'll read as many of them as we can. Of course, we like when you feed us those stats and information and all that good stuff. We want to read that. We'll definitely shout you out. But, yeah, the Cavs they need to be, I don't know, man. They need to be in a different position than they are right now, and it doesn't look like there's any light at the end of the tunnel, at least in terms of this season. What I will say, though, Kevin Love has played, what I just looked it up, 42% of his games in the last 3 years. He's showed up to work 42% of the time in the last 3 years. He's getting over $30 million a year. He's been available to be traded for the last couple of months is what I just read, and nobody wants him. So what are we doing here?
So
What are we
I
doing?
mean, didn't we waited for him to get back, and then as soon as he got back, he got hurt, right?
Yeah, well,
He went out the game again.
yeah, like I don't know that he
Oh,
ever was not hurt.
let's not go back here. I mean, we're not going to dwell on. Obviously, the Cavs aren't good. They haven't been good without Kevin Love. He's been back. They still aren't good. We're not able to put a string of wins here together. So, I mean, I would say at this point, you probably should just think about finding a trade partner. But like you said, you can't. I mean, his contract is so
Yeah, nah,
huge.
there's no
It's
trade
like,
for him,
how in the world are you going to get? So they're probably just
and
going
they
to have
won't
to
cut
eat
him.
that.
They won't cut him. You just gotta let it fizzle out, man. There's nothing
Yeah,
you
what
can
are you
do,
going to
but it's just a sad situation. Corey says the Raptors are doing bad. The Cavs right now in a dogfight with the Raptors, 58-57. That game is about to go into halftime. So
But the
shout out to
Raptors
the
aren't. The
Cavs,
Raptors
man. We
aren't
do
good.
want them to do good.
The Raptors aren't that great a team. I mean, the East, there's some people that can be got in the East. Now, when you talk about 7-game series, should the Cavs make the playoffs?
Much different than the
they're going to be
NFL,
playing a
though.
top. They're going to be playing one of those teams that are up top. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
maybe possibly the Brooklyn Nets or possibly the Philadelphia 76ers. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
I don't know that there's any team I would pick the Cavs to beat in a series right
Damn,
now. Not
really?
without DeMarcus. Not without Drummond. Not I don't know. I just don't know. I
So
don't
you
know.
think Drummond is the main reason that we're leaving? That we're losing?
I think that he was by far our best player. I think that
Hmm.
he was easily the one player on the team that you
Ozzy.
had to as a coach coaching against the Cavs. That's one guy that you had to have at least a conversation about. I mean, I like the young bull Colin Sexton. He's probably the next guy, but even him, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't
And
know. In
did
a
you
seven
see?
game
Did you see the
series,
new pro?
we ain't got no Trey
Hello?
Youngs or none
What?
of them.
Did you
Go
get
ahead.
froze? Oh no. Hey, did you see? Oh, I got a shout out to Mystery Tide. He was the first one on deck. You know what I'm
Of
saying? This
course.
time, better not talk about what happened to Ohio State. We're going to the tournament next, and we will be talking about that in just a minute. Just you wait, Mystery Tide. It's not going to be a mystery. But and he
What's
made me
good,
lose.
Ozzy?
Okay, so they have a new promo. You know, the promo for the Cavs coming out in the beginning of the game is better than the whole team season. Like that's all. That's the most hype I've been seeing. They got this new intro.
Is Ahmad
That's
in
this
it?
video. No, I don't think I saw a mod in it,
Okay.
but you
Okay. Well,
know,
shout out to
it's
Ahmad
got
anyway.
one of those new hip hop songs behind it and things of that nature. I sound old as hell saying that, but no. So, but one thing I did notice. So since we have Colin Sexton
Mm-hmm.
and what is it, Darius Garland is our
Mm-hmm.
backcourt.
Mm-hmm.
Why they calling them Sex Land?
Bruh. I was I was wondering where you were going with this, and I could tell that it was about to be something crazy just because you turned on your radio voice, man. I'm not sure why, bruh.
They calling Colin Sexton and Darius Garland
Who is
together.
calling them that?
It's Sex Land.
Who is
It
calling
was
them
in the
that?
promo. I'm just telling you, man. They're
Okay.
trying to find a nickname for our backcourt since that's the main feature
That
of the
ain't the
team.
one.
How do you
Nah, they
feel
need to.
about calling them calling our backcourt Sex Land?
Nah, that's not the one.
Because
That's
it
not the
ties
one.
into the land. I guess it's sexy. It's a sexy
Nah,
name, I guess, right? You know,
nah, that's not a sexy
he
name,
got the
and
sexy hair
there's
with the rat
nothing
tail.
about that would
Sexton has
say
the sexy hair with the
he
rat
doesn't.
tail coming out the back that he's been growing since birth. And then you also have Garland. You know what I mean? So that's kind of fabulous. You know, Garland, Judy Garland, she was a fabulous Hollywood star, you know.
Bro,
No?
I don't.
I'm trying to
Bruh,
sell this. Never
I
mind.
don't think that we should be trying to sell that. I think that it
Let's
sounds crazy.
I think we should just move on to what's
Let's move
happening.
on.
Let's move on to some good basketball because
Sure.
this tournament, did you do a bracket?
I did two brackets in one. Yeah, I got in my dude Peter Zuban's league, and
Uh-huh.
I incorporated that lineup into my family's league because my stepdad hit us up and was kind of salty when nobody got in it. So I just
How's your bracket looking?
not very good.
I think
I only looked at it
nobody's
once.
bracket should be looking good because this is this has been kind of the weirdest. You know, I think not having a tournament last year due to the pandemic
Hmm.
just maybe leveled the playing field because I mean, you know, the usual suspects aren't here. You don't have your Dukes in the tournament. North Carolina was eliminated in the first round. You know, there's a lot of things that you're used to seeing in in an NCAA tournament that aren't happening this season. Like you're normally not going to see a 15 seed beat, you know, a two. But
Hmm.
that happened when Oral Roberts took care of Ohio State, Mystery Todd, when we had a 15 seed. Ohio State. I
Yeah,
mean, that loss was so bad, and I'm not, this ain't joke. This is no joke. Some of the players were receiving death threats.
yeah,
What is
yeah. I
wrong
saw that.
with Ohio State? The fan base. It's like
But you know,
you bet your whole mortgage?
I think
You bet
that's
the
more
deed to your house?
betters. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you're gonna get a combination of those two things, but the betting is huge in all of these sports, and a lot of people, wager large sums of money on things that they deem to be locks or sure things. And in the betting world, you shouldn't call anything a lock or a sure thing because, a number 2 seed could be beat by a 15 seed.
I
The
mean, it was
ninth time
close.
that that's happened in the history of the tournament.
It was a close game. 75-72 was the final score. We missed the three-pointer right there at the end. Notice I said we because it is Ohio, and that's what I want
For
to get
sure.
onto because there's a lot of representation from Ohio in this here tournament.
Yeah,
Cleveland State made the tournament.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's just move on to that one real quick. They made it. The Cinderella story won the horizon.
Thanks for showing up.
Thanks for showing up. We appreciate
We
you. They did
appreciate
not
you.
put forth a
No,
competitive game,
at
but
all. It
It's
was
okay
terrible.
because they made the tournament, represented.
Bad.
You know what I'm saying? We
They
all
lost by 31.
everybody watching this right now has probably been
There's no moral
near Cleveland
victories.
State at some point.
There's
So
no
we love
moral
that.
victory here when you get beat by 31 points.
It is. I think.
It's
I
like
think in
you
this
didn't.
sense. I think
It's
in this
like you
sense, you get
did.
a moral victory.
No, you don't. You got all types of top seeds falling. This is if this was the year for the up. This is the year of the upset. There's been way more upsets. I mean, we had a number 14 Abilene Christian beat Texas. They were a 14 seed. We had
I thought
our
about
very
going
own
there actually. I
North
did.
Texas, a 13 seed, moved on. 12 seeded Oregon State moved on. You got the 10th seed Syracuse in Maryland still playing. UCLA, they had to play their way in. They were a play-in game and they're still playing. Okay, Rutgers with at the ranked 10th. Look at how many of these low-ranked teams have moved on at least to the second round. Some games are being played today. Games are being played right now. They may not make it through the weekend to see the Sweet 16, but no, you don't get a moral victory when you make it and then you get blasted. No, there's no moral victory in that, sir. You think that the Cleveland those Vikings players are thinking about moral victories when they was getting their asses handed to them?
I bet you at some point of their day since the tournament, since they got the defeat, I bet each one of them people on the coaching staff and the players at least had one thought when they were like, hey man, at least we made it. Hey man, at least we was in the tournament.
Corey
About
said
Cleveland State, man.
They lit
Shout
up
out to
the
Cleveland
terminal
State.
tower for these dudes, man.
Yeah,
Look at
green
Corey
and white.
said they didn't turn the terminal tower green and white. You know, it wasn't even St. Patrick's Day. And they go in there and they get it washed. All the way. Come on, man. 31 points. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Shout out to Cleveland State.
You know,
man.
I shout out to Cleveland State.
Shout out to Cleveland State. And it's not all doom and gloom because we do have another game for an Ohio team.
Yes.
Shout out to the Bobcats, right?
Yeah, Ohio U, a 13th seed. A 13th seed moving on. So I'm just saying they took care of business.
And for what it's worth, they beat the champions. You know what I'm saying? There was no tournament last year, but the last time there was a tournament, they beat the champs. So
their guards are under 6 feet. Like that's the amazing thing about it. Both of their guards are under 6 feet out there balling. So I don't want to hear that, Cleveland State. Y'all could have got it. Y'all could have at least showed better. Okay, you lost. You would probably a lot of people probably didn't pick you in their bracket. Did you pick Cleveland State?
No, I did not.
Oh, see, you have
come on, fam. Come on, fam.
Your bracket
95%. 95% of the ESPN brackets were ruined after Ohio State lost. So nobody's out here with
why did everybody think
brackets.
Ohio State was so nice? I don't understand.
Well, I mean, they thought they were heavily favored in that game. They should have won that game. And just real quick before we move on from the Bobcats,
do you think Illinois was heavily favored? The number 1 seed that went down? You know what I mean? So that doesn't matter.
That question kind of leads into my point that I'm not like your biggest NCAA fan on the football or the basketball side, but I do love March Madness. I like, just getting into the mode of any team could be a Cinderella. We could have a story coming from anywhere in the country where, some relatively unknown guy or team comes out and they make the most of their opportunity. So in that spirit, while looking for nuggets for this show, Ohio, did you know, 7th in the country in terms of assists per game. They have more than 17 assists per game. Now, there are a lot of D1 schools in the country. To be 7th, to be top 10 in any category is great. And I think that, that type of offensive flow will keep you in a lot of games. So hopefully they can keep this thing going. And Jalen Rose, I'm not sure if you saw this on ESPN, picked Ohio as his dark horse team. So
to do what?
I don't to make a run.
What does that mean?
Not to win it.
He picked them to win.
Not to win it. I think he did pick them to win that first game. He picked them as his little Cinderella story team. So maybe Ohio can turn into that.
Does he have them going to the Final Four?
I don't think that he had them going that far. Maybe Sweet 16. But I mean, if they got to the Sweet 16, we wouldn't be happy. We wouldn't be celebrating that.
Of course,
we'll be going crazy for sure.
I mean, Ohio State wouldn't be happy because they're rivals with Ohio University.
Well, yeah, and they should have higher aspirations. They should have high aspirations they should have had high aspirations as a number 2 seed.
Look at Mystery Todd. He's not happy. He's not happy about the Bobcats. Mr. Retired doesn't care about the Bobcats.
Oh,
Come on,
he's a
man. It's
Buckeye.
Ohio.
Yeah,
But
come
it's
on, we
almost
gotta
like
represent now. Yeah,
it's almost like if the Browns don't make the playoffs, then we should root for Cincinnati because it's Ohio.
yeah. Hey, I
No,
went to Kent State
I wouldn't.
for
I
a year
wouldn't
and a
do.
half, but I
Okay,
still,
you
I
Golden
still
Eagle. What
rep.
are they? The Golden Eagles?
Nah, I don't think that I'm anything because I didn't go to class.
I
But
mean,
they're the
isn't
the
that
Golden Flashes, the
the
Golden
Golden
Flash.
Flag? I knew it was the
Yeah,
Golden
Josh
something.
Cribbs. Shout out to
So what
Josh
is? So
Cribbs.
now I'm like, what the hell is that? A Golden
I
Flash?
don't. What is a zip?
The
I don't
Golden
know, man.
Flashers?
The Akron Zips,
Because
bro. I mean,
Flasher,
bro,
that's a dirty old dude.
yeah, your mind is in a wild place tonight,
No,
man. With
my
these,
thing.
with these nicknames for the Cavs you coming up with, and
I
now
didn't
this,
come up with that.
you play on the
They
Kent
call
State
them
Golden
sex land.
Flashes.
Don't listen, man. I'm
I
just
don't
bringing
believe
this
that
is
Dan
this is
Gilbert signed off on that, bro. I don't
this is
believe that.
this is what's out here. You think I'm making it up? I saw it. You'll see for yourself. You'll see for yourself. What up, Ozzy? Ozzy talking about Ohio is the best. What are people talking about? Hey, and look at the amount of ACC teams that got put out. Like they usually run things when they
Well,
get.
can I say
to the thing.
something? That's
Yes.
one of my beefs with like I don't want to turn this into like why I hate college sports. Like, but it's one of the reasons
But you're gonna do
why
it.
I just want to take 2 seconds, bro, and explain this because we're not gonna really outside of the next 2 shows, we won't talk about college sports again until when? Next year in March. But it's my main gripe for college basketball is that you fall in love with a player, right? And then he's a one and done. Now he's in the league. So you can't even really fall in love with the player in college because he's going to be a one and done if you fall in love with him, right? Then the thing you just said about the ACC, there's so many different SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12. Bro. Shout out to the Bobcats. I don't want to take away from them, but I'm just saying, like, some of that I just had to vent
From the
that, I guess,
MAC.
man. I've been holding that in, man.
And then you didn't even say their conference. That's MAC division. Boy, you gotta come.
MAC,
You gotta
that's what I'm
come
saying.
correct.
Shout out
You gotta
to the
come
MAC.
correct. So I mean,
Shout out to
so
the MAC.
so what? Just follow the ones that you know, man. Follow your school. Follow the ones that
I know.
you like. You
Do the
can't
best I can.
possibly follow every single school. You know what I'm saying? But
Nah.
you got to think about it like this, man. Imagine, you have children, right?
Mhm.
You if your son or daughter made it to play collegiate sports, you'd be into college sports then.
Come on, bro. That's a little different.
No, it's
Absolutely.
not. So I'm saying you gotta start to put yourself in the shoes of people who have kids. These are young kids living out their dreams of being able to play sports on this
That
level.
part of collegiate sports is amazing. My stepdad used to always say he loves college basketball because he says they play with more heart and intensity, like especially during the tournament and all that stuff than you'll find
The
in an
tournament
NBA
is
game.
way more exciting,
For sure,
much more
for sure.
exciting. It's one and done, and
For
it's
sure.
like you see the emotions from the people in the
See you,
stands.
Corey. We
You
coming
see-
right there, dog.
I know, Corey. Stop trying. You don't run this show,
We
Corey.
coming right there,
trying to
bro.
trying to
Just
change
hold
the
on for us.
subject, man. Calm down, Corey. We got a few minutes, Corey. Sheesh. We know. We're gonna talk Browns. We got Browns coming up in just a few minutes, but hold tight. Since you said we wasn't going to talk about college, I beg to differ because we have a reason to talk a little
The
bit more
Buckeyes?
college. No, Maryland Terrapins. And let me explain why. Do you remember our co-worker and a woman that we all revere and love in this city so much, Kim Sellers?
Yes,
Kim
I do.
Sellers'
of course.
daughter, baby, next year will be playing for the Lady Terrapins.
That's really dope.
So we have a reason to pay attention to some college sports
Look at you
because
trying
somebody that we know is going to be playing for a program of that caliber.
for sure.
They'll probably make the tournament. I mean, it's kind of unfair that we don't have time to really get into the ladies tournament. And we could talk about the situation with the weight room situation
Yeah.
that happened where they had it all set
crazy.
up lavishly for the men, but the
Inexcusable.
women
honestly.
had some 5-pound weights.
Yeah.
So we need to big up the women a little more, especially being that it is Women's History Month. So I wanted to give a shout out to baby for making it. That is Brad Sellers' daughter, who played in the NBA, and she'll be playing for the Lady Terrapins come this fall once she graduates from school out here. So I'll be looking forward to being able to say, I know her. She'll be out there balling. Yeah,
For sure.
Shout out to hold on, I gotta give her a little round of applause for baby. Plus, I have Maryland connections, so I've been on campus, College Park, and we've gone and watched high school state championships out there on College Park. So it's a good time. I like Maryland in that area. It's part of me. So I'm proud to know that she's going to play for that school. So that's what's up. Plus, the Maryland Terrapins are in it still, an 11th seed. Cleveland State, while you out here playing. All right, let's switch gears. Let's go on and switch gears, man. The Cleveland Browns, as Corey has directed us to start talking about.
Crown them right now.
Crown. Oh, that's what you're saying?
Crown them right now.
That's what you're saying.
Hey,
so
we about to ball out next season, man.
So
now, like seriously, we about
you,
to go nuts next season.
Okay,
we about to go nuts next season.
Okay, so I take it you like the free agent moves that we made. Okay, we're gonna run through them real quick, just for those of you who don't know. This was a free agency week, and the Browns got busy, kind of somewhat under the radar. If you're not a Browns fan, they didn't make the big splashes that a lot of the other people, like the New England Patriots, are spending a bunch of money. Bought in the 2 tight ends, Henry from the Chargers, and who's the
Bill Belichick mad, man. He can't let Tom get all this credit out here.
And they running it back with Cam Newton.
Yeah,
running it back with Cam Newton. But let's focus on our Browns, okay? Sure. Because what did we say needed to happen? We needed to work on defense, right?
Absolutely.
Well, you complained about a player in particular on defense all season. You know what I'm saying?
Sendejo. Who was
that? Yes, Sendejo.
Your boy, Sendejo.
So, listen,
who you always made an excuse for. Always.
Is Sendejo still on the team?
I have no idea.
I think he will be. If Sendejo's still out there making plays on this team, you're gonna have to eat your words on that one. Okay. So, but anyway,
you mean when he's been relieved of his duty as a starting safety? Yeah. Okay.
He wasn't supposed to be the starter.
Okay.
He had to fill in because of injuries, so he was never ever projected to be the main guy.
Agreed, but he was, and I mean, he had a rough first half of the season.
We're not about to
go ahead.
Not about to go all over. Let's talk about who we just picked up.
Absolutely.
He calls himself JJ3, John Johnson III, who he came over, one of the best safeties in the NFL, according to Pro Football Focus. That's what they always say.
Right.
So we signed him for 3 years, $33.75 million contract, but only about 5 of that is going to count against us this year on the salary cap. So that
sounds like an efficient deal. All of the deals sound very efficient. That's what another thing that I loved about these. Go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
No. I just wanted to chime in. Like that was efficient. And the way that we're moving through this free agency, last year, we signed the guys on the offensive side of the ball, right? This year, we signed the guys on the defensive side of the ball. And we've talked about it every week the Browns played, that we needed more defense. Right. We went out there and got a safety. We went out there and got a cornerback. 2 guys that started on the Rams last year, who, according to Pro Football Focus, I'm sure would tell you, had the best defense in the NFL last year. So
and they won't have the best defense this year when you lose talent like that. And that's when you go and overcompensate for the quarterback position, which is what they just did. They may look better on offense, but they're going to lack on defense, I think, when it comes to losing players of this caliber. But their loss, our gain, as Troy Hill, teammate of JJ3, also comes to the Browns. And he signs a 4-year deal here. What is it? It's worth $24 million for 4 years. So we got Troy Hill under contract, and plus,
the last thing I wanted to say
it's
about
not a
safety.
guaranteed $24 million though. So that's what makes it a more friendly contract for us. It's not guaranteed. This is kind of incentive-based. Go right ahead.
The safety is only 25, right?
Yes,
he's 25 years old. So think about that, bro. We're not getting
Ronnie
no
Harrison.
old retreads. Yes, and you're getting Grant Delpit coming back. Come on, bro. Let's go. With Denzel Ward, COVID-free, like, we going. And then you got Greedy coming back as well. Like, the defense should look a lot better next year, at least on paper. So we'll see how it translates.
I'm glad to hear that you're happy about the moves, and you're glad that we made smart moves, because you were a person that, if I'm not mistaken, I think you said back the Brinks truck up for JJ Watt.
Oh, I would have. I would have, but he didn't.
Would that have been a smart move with the money?
If we still would have been able to get. I don't think that going back to what I just said about the efficiency of the money in these contracts, I still think that we would have been able to make a play for the secondary pieces that we added, and those are the pieces that I'm most excited about right now. Those are guys that should
Right.
be starting
Because here's
day one. Well, we know that they should be starting day
they're
one. So
gonna
we'll
start.
see.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
so we'll
start.
see.
And now that we have Troy Hill, if we don't know, we still don't know what the situation is with Greedy Williams. We expect him to play
Greedy,
at
no,
some
Greedy said
point.
he's back. Greedy
He's
is
back.
back. Greedy
Okay, if
said a
Greedy's
couple
back,
weeks ago in a tweet, he said,
man,
"I'm
listen,
back." Greedy is
man,
ready.
listen.
He's ready. Yeah, it's
Okay,
about to
so
go
so
down.
here's my thing when people I told you if we could get JJ Watt for a good price, fine. I never wanted to overpay for him. Plus, I didn't understand why once the talk about JJ Watt started to begin, then people just kind of got hooked on that. We got to get this. We got to get a pass rusher to put
He's
on
a
the other side
name.
of,
It's a
of, of
sexy
Miles Garrett.
name.
But then it became more than about JJ Watt. It became about, and when JJ Watt was signed to the Cardinals, then it was like, well, we got to get us now everybody's fixated on we got to get a pass rusher opposite
But I
Miles Garrett.
still think we do, though. I still
We
think we
we
do.
draft we signed Tack McKinley,
Right.
defensive end,
Yeah.
who he's
From the
had
Raiders.
a couple of
Who the hell is that?
he
Like,
wasn't.
that's my
What you mean?
point.
Who the hell is that?
Dude, I'm just saying, man. I'm just
No,
saying.
it's
We
not
talking
who the hell
about
is that.
JJ
You don't
Watt.
know. You don't know his journey in the season. He when he
His-
got drafted, he got drafted by the Atlanta. Hold on, sir.
Okay.
You want to know who he is?
I want to know his numbers. That's
You
what I
want to
want
know
to
his
know.
numbers. Okay, he had 13 sacks over his first 2 seasons in the league.
Okay.
And then he fell off a little bit. And he even admitted in his press conference, if you had to watch, you did a little bit of homework, that he lost himself in how he approached the game over the last couple of years. And
So
now,
we got a head case.
so
So,
he
that's what it
no,
sounds like to me. We got a head case.
now what if you listen
Instead of getting JJ
let me
Watt.
finish saying what he
All
said.
right. All right.
He
My bad.
he knows and he realizes because every time it was a possibility for us to get him for the past 5 seasons, they tried to get him. He was placed on waivers one time. They tried to claim him. Somebody else claimed him, and then he didn't pass the physical. Andrew
Bruh.
Berry has wanted this guy since he came out the draft. I'm just trying to
Okay.
tell you. So he has that type of potential. So this move, when they only signed it for 1 year, it's like a prove it deal. It's 1 year, $4.25 million, and he can make up to $6 million based on incentives. So this is the type of deal you give a player who's been through what he's been through.
Or
He come in the league hot, had a couple down years, lost his his way admittedly, and now understands and appreciates that a team that wanted him as bad as the Browns, and this is what he said out of his own mouth. He said he knows how knowing how much the Browns really wanted him over these years is just giving him motivation to come in here and give all he got.
I feel that. Now can I respond?
He was a first rounder, sir.
Okay, I respect that. I definitely respect that.
13 sacks in his first 2 seasons. Number 26 overall pick. Since you was like, and who is that? He didn't even play for the Raiders because he got put on injury reserve. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So what it sounds like you've done after you told me about this guy that we signed, after we talked about the potential of having J.J. Watt across from Myles Garrett. Okay, that's where we started the conversation at J.J. Watt and Myles Garrett.
Right.
You bring up Hank Tinkley or whatever my dude's name is. I respect him as he's a professional athlete, and I'm sure
McKinley.
Tack McKinley. Shout out to you, bro. I'm glad you finally come home.
Because he obviously has no tact.
What you did after you told me that this great signing, you told me that we bought a lemon. That's what you told me. You said, what? Wait. You said he was like depressed. You said like he lost his way. Like he had a couple of down years. He was on injured reserve. Like everything you said. Look, he could come in here. I will say, I should have started by saying this. I'll preface everything by saying that I trust our coach. And I'm sure that our coach was involved in he didn't have the final say. We know who that was. But I feel like he was involved in picking all of these players. And I trust him. I think he's a smart man, and he won us a playoff game. So I trust him. I'm going to roll with him. I'm going to roll with Kevin Stefanski. I'm going to roll. Yeah. But I'm telling you that I don't think that we should stop at Hank Tinkley. I don't think that we should do that.
So you're just going to purposely continue. Okay, we're not stopping at
Okay.
McKinley, okay?
Thank you.
Where his
Thank
real
you.
name is Takarist, all right?
All right.
Tack
Shout out to
is
him.
short for
He's a
Takarist.
millionaire, man. I'm
All
not.
right.
He's a.
And we also
I
signed
respect him.
linebacker veteran Anthony Walker, middle linebacker from the Indianapolis Colts. What do you
I'm
think?
with
What do you
that.
think about that? You like that right there?
I'm with
Also,
that.
we re-signed linebacker Malcolm Smith, signed back with us, and then we went and got defensive tackle Malik Jackson. Now he's gonna have to prove it. You know what I'm saying? But there's another D tackle. So what I'm
Just
saying is when people
they're
got
getting
all
bodies. I get you.
obsessed with going after a pass rusher to go opposite Myles Garrett, it's like how many teams really have two top pass rushers in the league?
The really good ones.
No, who are they?
have-
No, I'm just telling you. Just name them.
bro.
Name me a team that has more than one premier, if they even have a premier pass rusher, if they have more than one.
I'm sure that if you looked at the Steelers and you looked at the Ravens, they
No.
got two. I'm sure they have
I'm sure they have
guys
good
that are
players.
better than what we have.
No,
What we had
that
available
is
to us.
not the question. The question is,
I don't know everybody's roster, and I'm
No,
not really
I'm just trying
concerned
to-
with everybody else's
what
roster.
I'm just trying to say, Matt, we've watched football for a long time. We ain't
Okay.
never heard of a team that had two premier pass rushers, like two Myles
I don't think
Garretts,
that's true.
two Aaron Donalds. No, but two Reggie Whites. You've never seen they've had one of those guys and a bunch of other guys that were good.
What about the Giants that beat the Patriots?
What about the Giants that beat the Patriots?
They had a pretty beasty defensive line where they
Yeah,
rushed
but they
forward
had
the
the
whole
one.
game
They had
and dropped
one
everybody
premier,
back.
They had one premier guy, and that was Michael Strahan. That's it. They didn't have another Michael Strahan type of guy. They had another. They had other guys, but they didn't have.
Wasn't O.C. Umenyiora? Wasn't he their other defensive end at that point? And wasn't he pretty damn good? I think that he was a really, really good defensive end. I think he was the young dude that was raw, and I think that Michael Strahan was the old guy that was raw. Man, I don't know. You asking? Look, I'm not Google, man. I don't know all.
Michael Strahan is a Hall of Famer, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
O.C. Umenyiora is not. So
Okay.
let's stop that right
All
there.
right.
Okay.
But what? Okay.
I'm talking about a Hall of Fame caliber pass rusher and have more than one of them on your team.
I don't think that we're going to sign another Hall of Fame pass rusher. I don't think another one is available right now. I'm just telling you that I would like to upgrade over what we had last year because I think that's one of the reasons why we lost.
Okay, so listen, we also have defensive tackle Billings, who's coming back. He opted out last year. He didn't even play the whole season. A member of our squad who plays.
Great. So we got to wait till he gets in the game shape.
Well, stop being so negative about every damn thing.
Saying,
here's something
bro.
that should make you happy. Rashad Higgins has re-signed a one-year deal. Rashad is back, ladies and gentlemen.
How much is the money on that deal? What's the money on that deal?
I don't really
Shout out
see
to
the
Hollywood
money on
Higgins,
that
man.
deal. I don't see the money.
I've been painted as a Hollywood Higgins hater, and I'm not. I just didn't want us to back the Brinks truck up for him. Like he's not the guy.
Nobody said anything about backing no Brinks truck up.
Yeah, but
whoever said that?
Some Browns
You're
fans,
the only one that want to back up Brinks trucks.
Well, some Browns fans were acting like we had to bring back Hollywood Higgins, man. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, look, Hollywood, if you can hear this or see this, this guy right here, I don't know if I'm pointing the right way, did not want you. He didn't want you to come. He didn't care if you went somewhere else.
That's not true.
I cared.
I'm glad he's back.
I realized he blamed
he
blamed the entire loss against the Kansas City Chiefs on you, Hollywood. Yes, he did.
There was only one player to fumble the ball on the 1 yard line.
Definitely. Oh, see, there it is.
We gotta wrap this up, man. We gotta wrap this up. You're gonna make me turn. You're gonna make me say some things that paint me in a bad light, man.
You paint yourself in a bad light, man. You like that painter with the afro in bad lighting. Painting away. That's what you are, man. So we're gonna get on out of here. And who being negative? That's what Ozzy said was being negative. That is him. This is negative guy right here. He's the one. Who he said? Pierre St. Paul. Who is Pierre? Andre said Pierre St. Paul. Do you know who Pierre St. Paul is? That's me.
I thought it was Michael Strahan and O.C. Umenyiora, but maybe
no.
It was somebody else on the other side of that line with Strahan, bro. I'm not making this up, and he was a dog.
Listen, y'all know damn well no teams usually have two Hall of Fame pass rushers on their squad. They have a one and then some other guys that are good above average players, but not necessarily Hall of Famers. And that's all you need. Because if they good enough to be above average and you have a premier on one side, then that's going to make it easier for those guys because they still going to double team Myles Garrett and it's going to let the other dogs loose. And Tack McKinley said he got a dog on the line with him that's going to lay it on the line for Myles Garrett because he know the type of player Myles Garrett is and he's ready to bring it. What is Corey talking about? Andrew Berry, if you're listening. Sign Larry Fitzgerald. We don't need no receivers. We're good. We're good on the receiving end. Maybe we can pick up a young receiver late in the draft, a late round draft pick receiver. There's so many receivers coming out. We got to at least grab one of the young talent, just for depth purposes. You know what I'm saying? Just in case Odell get hurt again, because he does that every year. Hello?
Yeah. I'm trying to find.
You're not even listening.
I am.
I threw a shot at your boy Odell and he wasn't even there to catch it. But it's all right. We're going to get on up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I appreciate everybody that stopped through. Pearl, what's up?
I'm glad that you said that, I'm glad that you did remind me because I was trying to find these best defensive end combinations in NFL history and my computer screen. My typing skills are just failing me right now. But
and Jason just Pierre on Odell, Paul, that's his name.
Yeah.
Pierre sure. St. Paul.
a dog. So you can try to clown him if you want to. He was a dog.
Is Jason Pierre Paul a Hall of Famer?
I don't know who all is in the Hall of Fame, big
he's
dog.
He's in the Hall of Shame for blowing half his hand off with firecrackers.
I would guess not. But let me just shout out my boy Odell, man. I don't know if you've been watching. He's been working hard. He will be ready for next season.
That's how I know
he will be ready for next season.
Listen.
And he's going to not drop the ball on the 1 yard line. That's all I know.
Listen, because I said when I said we should pick up a wide receiver because there's a lot of wide receivers coming out. We should probably get a young talent just for depth purposes in case Odell gets hurt because he does that every year. See, that's what I had said. That's what I had said.
We're not going to make injury
on that note. I'm going to get on out of here.
We're not going to do that.
Go, man. Yo, you and Odell, both light-skinned with beards. That's why you love him. It's all good. Go ahead with your Odell beard. Okay, sir? This has been Matt and Matt Sports.
I'm going to have Odell hair next show, next week. I'm going to buy a wig, and I'm going to wear it, and I'm not even going to say anything.
You're going to wear a wig? Y'all heard that, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I'm not doing that.
He's going to wear a wig.
No, I'm not doing
that. You know that's out on tape.
Come on, get us out.
You can't take that back.
I'm not doing that.
AC, get a clip of that. All right, this has been Matt Sports. I'm Hazmat.
And I'm Matty Wills. Thanks for watching. And you have